Okay, last time we were here, we were speaking about your mother's passing and the grief you were feeling. Um, has anything changed? Have we been feeling better or more upbeat?
It's uh it's difficult because people say that when somebody passes, that time makes it better, and it's kind of weird because like when it first happens, there's a feeling of shock or emptiness when it first happens,
Sure.
but then I think time heals that part, but time doesn't heal the constant reminder that the person's not there anymore. And I think it's like I noticed when when my mom first passed away, we would go to her house. It didn't bother me, but like now, if I drive past there, I don't want to drive past there because it's it's hitting me more now than it did when it first happened.
It's understandable. So you're still feeling the shock, more or less the shock of it now, um, rather than before. Before it was more of a numbness and just going through
Yeah, I
the
felt like
motions.
I felt like a robot when it first happened. It was like I had to step in, and I didn't feel anything. Like it's not that I wasn't sad, but it was just like I didn't feel anything. It was just going through it.
Sure.
And now that I think about it, everything I've learned from nursing, it's like when I looked at my mom, she was okay to me. Like she didn't look sick. And then when she was wheeled in after they tried for the last time, uh, my grandmother sat down because she looked at my mother and she realized how sick she was. And I'm like, I looked at my grandmother like what's the matter? She's like, she looks terrible. When I looked at my mother, that's when I finally like realized, wow, she really does look terrible. Like, how can I not see that? Or like when she was in hospice that night and all the signs of impending death that I'm so used to seeing, I couldn't see. They woke me up and they're like, I see signs of modeling. Not they didn't wake me up, but they woke me up talking. And I'm like, I don't see that. But I should have seen it because I know, like, this is what I was trained to do, and I didn't see that. And it like I said, it makes you realize how, like, blinded you can be.
Sure, with living with it day to day and being with her and spending so much time with her, I'm sure you didn't see the signs so much as someone who's not there day to day, taking care of her and seeing her all the time. I'm sure you didn't notice it as much. Um, Maybe felt like everything's just normal and she's acting normal, and I could understand how you wouldn't notice that as much as somebody who's just not there on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So, uh, how are you? How are you getting on now? Are you feeling more upbeat, or
I feel a little bit more upbeat. I mean, it's the holidays, and my mom loved the holidays, so it's very hard to think about. It's more or less like, okay, it's not that I can't spend the time with her because I know she's not here. It's she's missing it, and realistically, she's gone, so she's not missing anything. But in my mind, it's like, oh, this was her favorite time of year, so she can't sit here. I just think she was kind of like robbed.
so I hear you're feeling sad, obviously, because she's not going to be here for the holidays. What about the rest of your family? Your children, or your fiance? Uh, do they are they there to support you?
Oh yeah, I mean everybody's here to support me 100%, and I think I'm dealing with it pretty good. it's just so fresh still,
Sure.
and I'm sure eventually I will, heal. It's just now both my parents are gone, so I kind of feel like I'm nobody's child.
Well, you're not nobody's child. You are still their child. It's just that at this point they've passed on, and the memory is still there, and you'll always be their child. It's not that you're nobody's child anymore, but I think you should speak with your fiance, make sure he understands how you're feeling, and take some time with the family and stick together for the holidays. You seem strong enough to get through this. Um, Things do get better in time, and I'm always here to speak to.
Okay. Okay, well,